Hey everyone, glad you're here today. I've been running the Onkyo TX-RZ70 in my home theater for weeks now, and this thing has completely changed how I think a receiver should perform. If you're the kind of person who actually cares about having cinematic sound at home, someone who wants control, depth, and presence, you're not browsing for fun. You already know you want something serious. And before we go deeper, take a quick second to check the link in the description for price and stock, because this model doesn't sit on shelves for long. I came from a setup that worked, but never really impressed. My older receiver didn't have the headroom I needed, Atmos felt inconsistent, and I was constantly adjusting levels just to keep things balanced. Eventually I got tired of patching weak spots. I wanted something with real power that wouldn't choke when I finally pushed my speakers the way they were meant to be pushed. The moment I swapped in the TX-RZ70, it felt like taking the brakes off my whole system. Day to day, the difference is unreal. Movies hit harder, dialogue is clearer, and the room fills with sound that feels intentional instead of scattered. Dirac Live out of the box is what really sealed it for me. Instead of wrestling with room quirks, the correction just locks everything in so the audio feels tight and controlled no matter where you sit. When I'm watching a big Atmos soundtrack, the height channels actually live in the space above you instead of sounding like background effects. And music? You'll hear details and warmth you didn't realize your speakers were capable of. The build feels premium and reassuring, big power supply, clean internal layout, and a chassis that doesn't vibrate or buzz when you hit those intense low-end moments. The way this thing integrates with your system is smooth too, Sonos certification if you're in that ecosystem, tons of HDMI 2.1 support, and enough headroom for a full 11.2 layout. It just makes you feel like your setup finally matches your standards. If you're even thinking about upgrading your theater, it's worth checking the link again. Prices fluctuate on high-end receivers more than you'd think, and when this one goes on sale, it doesn't last. A lot of people hesitate because they think something this powerful is too much. But honestly, you'd regret going with a weaker model. I tried dropping back to my older receiver for comparison one night, and the moment the sound flattened out, I knew there was no going back. Once you've heard what clean power plus proper correction does, you stop shopping in the mid-tier forever. This is the kind of ownership that feels like stepping into the top of the stack where you're not guessing, you're not tweaking constantly, and you're not settling. Huge, room-filling sound that feels alive, dialogue clarity that makes movies effortless, calibration that fixes the room, not the content power that never feels strained, a setup that makes your whole system level up. Large chassis that needs space, premium price compared to entry-level models. If you've been stuck comparing receivers for days, break the loop.